Do you get earworms? Do you get a song that just replays in your head?
For me, the whole thing is when I hear something new and I never anticipate that it's going to stick with me.
Ah, okay.
Like I'll hear something and it doesn't even have to tick every box for me. It doesn't have to like turn the world over for me. But if
Yeah,
there's something catchy in it, if there's like a little riff that's like, oh snap, that's a bop right there.
yeah.
Because I listen to like a lot of vaporwave. So
Yeah,
there
yeah,
might be like a little 5 second sample from something back in the day, and I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
racking my brain trying to remember what that is, and it hits me randomly while I'm doing something in the kitchen. I
yeah,
love that. I love
yeah.
when new stuff unexpectedly becomes a new earworm. Yeah.
Yeah, I just been having them lately. Like I've just been like once one is gone, one will just pop right into it. And sometimes it's like for a while it was Beyonce's "Get the fuck up out my house." Like it like I don't know why that refrain just kept staying in my head. And then the other one was a riff from, and it was a song that ended up in a playlist that I had. And I was like, what? I was like, I really like this song, but it strikes a nerve. The sound of the instrumentation just gives a certain very specific feeling. Wintry, chill. Show Me How by Men I Trust. And that opening riff is like just plays over and over and over. It's been playing over and over. And then her breathy vocal, like "Show me how." It's like so light and like, and it's just been in my head. I can't. It's been in my head for probably about a good 3 weeks. I cannot get rid of this song. I love the song, but damn it, like it's such an earworm, man. It's such an earworm.
I'm a sucker for a good cold feeling or sounding song because I
Yeah.
think stylistically and considering today's like music, it's still hard to achieve something that's nice and
Yeah.
icy. Are you talking like jangly, like the Cure style type of guitars at the beginning, or like what?
Phalange effect, sound on the guitar with reverb.
Mm.
And so like with these like kind of despondent notes, and then like the end strum, like this bright, it's a brighter chord, but it's still kind of gray. And
Mm.
it's like this exasperated strum.
Nice.
Like I said, it's just one of those songs where like it's just been stuck in my head. I love the song. I actually been listening more to that artist, Men I Trust, because they have like their vibe is, I love the vibe of their music. It's very very chill. It's perfect like winter, lights dim, got candles, you chilling out, kind of vibing. Good. It's a good Thursday night, Friday night. Got the crib to yourself, smoke on something, you know, maybe a little shroom or something, and just kind of, that's the vibe that a lot of their music gives, which I like. I appreciate that. So
My earworm, okay, as we've discussed before, one algorithm for me that never fails is my Spotify.
mm,
I have been trying to stay current, trying to hear what's going on in the electronic scene and the different subgenres. So the channel I listen to the most, or playlist I listen to the most now, is Outliers. So the song
mm,
came on once while I was gaming, and it just took me and grabbed me by the back of my neck, grabbed me by all my kitchen, and pulled me. And I said, "What is going on? This is some new school Bjork type stuff going on here, and I need
ooh,
to investigate." This was crazy. I heard there was so much going on in this song. It sounded like Kanye's Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy all in a 4 minute song
mm,
with all the different movements. And so the song I'm talking about is by Saya Gray, this wonderful Canadian Japanese multi talented artist slash bass player for Willow and Daniel Caesar. Okay.
okay.
The song is called Annie Pick a Flower, and the subtitle is My House. That's part of the earworm because it's like this really infectious. I let you into my house. Take me down from the inside out. And it sounds like so defiant and so
Right.
brave and bold in the middle of the song.
Yeah.
It's so dope when it hits. But that's in the middle of ad libs that sound right
Yeah.
at home on Amigos track and a folksy, dreamy middle that's more shoegaze than anything else. And the end is like Seth Deliza, swirly, sexy, sensual. But it's a 4 minute fever dream.
Yeah, those. those artists always intrigue me because it's like, how did you keep this cohesive in these 4 minutes when people struggle to get all of these sounds on one album?
Yeah.
Like, like there are certain people who like the ability to like mesh genres to where it works is so incredibly hard. And when people do that like in one song, I'm like, how did you create that? Because like people, I don't think people give enough credit to that. Like it is very difficult to effectively merge sounds. Like for a long time, they've been trying to figure it out with country and rap. You know, like they they waited to try to figure it out. They had Nelly up there doing songs with Tim McGraw and shit. Like
They had a couple of hits over and over again and all that.
it's just over and over again.
It was an earworm. Just a little bop. Pop radio loved the hell out of that song. I
They
heard
did.
it.
But they
I
didn't
was
fuck with
married when
Yellow
it.
Wolf, did they? They didn't fuck with Yellow Wolf.
He's so underrated.
He is. He is. Hey, bro. Hey, some of them don't want to see. They don't want. They don't want to smoke with him rapping wise, and they know that.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about him or whatever, but like lyrically, hey, Buddy can get down. Buddy get down.
Man's a professional and not just in his region. He's been holding his region down.
He was doing Jelly Roll before Jelly Roll. Like
Okay.
he was doing Post Malone before. Yo,
Okay.
people need to stop sleeping on Yellow Wolf, bro, and his rock album that came out. Sometimes Why,
Yeah.
and I fuck with him. It's fucked up that I don't remember him. And I love it when he about to like drop an album because he always do like bomb ass freestyles, and he'll just drop them back to back to back. And sometimes he'll even let the fans choose the beat and shit like that. Like, oh, I'm mixing in different stuff. What do y'all want to hear? Like he did.
The feeling when trying to describe or highlight those indescribable music moments that you think everybody should feel. Songs are moments that make you want to pull over.
Yeah.
For me, I wanted to go ahead and focus on, because we got pestilence and famine out there, wars, rumors of wars, cyberpunk, and all kinds of bullshit. Thousands of people coming over every day. You never know what's gonna happen. It's a total crapshoot. So what I like to do is think about music that is like audio Xanax. Stuff that'll calm you, get you right. A song that comes on and a calm comes over you and you feel like you're sliding down in a warm bathtub. That's what I wanted to focus on. One of my favorite songs that feels like a warm hug when the rest of the world has me on overwhelm, when I'm just trying to get to whelm, is Alberto Balsam by Aphex Twin.
Damn. I haven't heard Aphex Twin in a minute.
We digging in the crates, and I want to dig in the crates because what I've been noticing a lot is, and as we've talked about Sia Gray and some of these new school acts, hyper pop. There's a second coming of drum and bass. There's a lot of attention to house, a lot of electronica out there. And I feel like some people are giving some nods to Aphex Twin and how he was out there, in 95 doing futuristic sounds, taking acid house from Detroit and putting some more math to it. Taking what we would do here in Chicago and putting some more math behind it, making it a little more glitchy. I chose Alberto Balsam because I was actually introduced to Aphex Twin by a classmate over here at Professor X's School for the Gifted in the Cornfields.
Yeah.
And my classmate that recommended the artist was, I was telling them, hey, I love house music. This is I kind of grew up on this. BMX was played in our house all the time. Put me on the Aphex Twin, and before I knew it, I would just have him on whether I was studying, sleeping, whatever. Especially like selected ambient works. That used to help calm my little ass down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I have had and suffered from anxiety and panic attacks for 30 years. Probably started around then where it was like, hey, you're in a class with this kid over here who started doing calculus when he was 8. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Shit. Barely made it out of Washington school, but we gonna get it, But like, I heard all about Alberto Balsam one day when I was really needed it, we'll say. Just listening to it right now, right before we got on, reminded me and instantly put me in that calm. And even for something as simple as just the sounds. It's not just like the synths and the warm, like kind of vibrato synth organ that plays like the main melody that's soothing and calming on its own. It almost sounds like a lullaby. But there's all kinds of industrial sounds in here too that sound comforting. Sounds like a chair scraping across the floor, but it's
Yeah,
using
that's
percussion.
yeah, that's what I normally associate Aphex Twins with is industrial, which was not in the electronic realm of music. I didn't get into Aphex Twins. I That was not. But to hear you talk about this, I'm like, oh, I'm really interested in this because I I only heard their heavy or his heavier industrial style. This sounds really interesting.
Well, everybody, what was it, 99 through like
Yeah.
2003, kind of got freaked out between Come to Daddy and Window Liquor. And sure, sonically and visually showed off, some of the excesses, some of the like graphic excesses of
Mhm.
that age. But a song like this, where it's so gentle and soothing and calming, is total like direct opposition
Yeah.
of the grimy and the nasty and all that. Also, something like Kanye West, The Blame Game, especially now that Amber Rose and Chris Rock have been spotted in certain places hooking up, playing the Blame Game on their own.
Good
That
for
is
her.
the
Good
song
for
sample is a Aphex Twin sample of Avril the Third, the piano sample.
Okay. Okay.
So it's yeah, like you said, it's an amazing dichotomy of how this guy can live in a bank and be a weird little squirrely guy and make this crazy outlandish music that's so excessively showy, gaudy, scary, boom, and then so delicate, soft, calm. So yeah.
Well, that would make sense. I mean, you gotta have your yin and yang, you know. I feel that. So I really like this. And I was thinking about maybe it's because being recently engaged and all that type of stuff. But there's a song by Ari Lennox called "Bound," and it's just about that idea of falling in love. Like it's just like I'm bound. Like it's all over now because it's there's a part of the song like it starts out and first off her voice sounds so beautiful on this guitar today apparently, but like it's a beautiful simple progression, like once again it's but then it goes into this whole part where it's her voice layered and it is the most textured and warm and like enveloping and like I could listen to that her sing that refrain at the end of it like all day because it's just like melting when you've had an emotional experience and somebody like holds you and you're able to like relax and like you feel your muscles like relax and like finally release and like you feel this warmth and this comfort. That's exactly what that part of that song Bound does. Like I'm like that is and it's prime it is not overly produced. It's literally guitar, a little bass, a little keys, a little bell, like a little shaker bells or whatever, and her voice layered. And when you have a great singer and they can like utilize their voice in different ways and know how to harmonize with themselves and know how to layer backgrounds and vocals and stuff like that, there's so much that you can feel in that space that normally would need, this instrument or this sound or this. And it's such a good song. And Ari Lennox is so amazing. I think she's so incredibly talented and funny. But her music is so good.
And I just saw a YouTube video of Ari and Duran Bernard just playing around a
Oh,
cappella.
really?
Uh-huh. And talk about two beasts just getting
Yeah.
it. First of all, I knew Ari could sing, but her paired up with Duran and they were
Yeah.
playing off of their voices so beautifully. So I know her harmonizing with herself sounds, and I've listened to Ari countless times before. Her harmonizing with herself sounds like honey on top of warm
Oh
honey.
my God,
Yeah.
it's butter. It is so good. It is like and I know everybody is they got their R&B girl, but to me Ari is like to me she's just up there because she has the pen and the voice
Yeah.
and she's fucking drop dead gorgeous.
Mhm.
Like you know what I'm saying? I'm not a stan person, so I just like what I like and I like all of them. You know what I'm saying? But Ari is the one that I can night drive. Like Jungling, like come on, man. Like her catalog is deep. Her catalog is deep, and it's a catalog that she's a push play catalog. Like I'll literally just push play, literally. Like, nah, just give me her playlist. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is Ari, just give me that, and I can just
Facts.
push play, and it's good, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She's one of the young divas that, some of us, not us necessarily, older heads can appreciate the fact
Yeah.
that, you know, R&B is in safe hands with
Oh yeah.
vocalists like Ari, who
Yeah.
have that beautiful, soulful yearn in their
Mhm.
voice, but also know how to play with dynamics well
Yeah.
and know how to adjust for the song's tone and
Yeah.
mood. Yeah, she is everything. So, yes, that feeling when just falling in love. Her voice is a perfect soundtrack to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm, I have to listen to that a little bit
You
later.
ever heard Bound?
Hmm.
You ever heard Bound?
I'm pretty sure I've had it on one of these playlists before, but I'm gonna go back and listen to it. I'm taking notes and creating playlists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. The vibe is.
Yeah. The vibe is. So this is a carryover because I really, and as you could tell, I just love music. But before we get to that, one of the things that I and we can, before we get to it, is there any music you're looking, anybody that you hope releases this year, or you said they were supposed to be releasing this year?
I am looking forward to. Well, here's the one artist I know is not going to release this year, and if they do release anything this year, it's going to be a shock. Is that there's not going to be a Nine Inch Nails release this year?
Mm,
Um, Trent Reznor is notorious for 30 plus years of telling us diehard fans soon. And sometimes soon would mean 5 years from now. Sometimes soon would mean we dropping the release in 2 weeks and we ain't gonna tell nobody. So, but he recently said, the state of music feels more disposable than ever and stuff like that. However, the soundtrack, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just slapped. So
hmm
I'm good on that. He can go take care of them babies and stuff, and Atticus can go do what he got to do. I'm excited for when Kanye finally gets his crap together and sits down and
Yeah.
puts finishing touches on these things that he's been meandering about for the past couple of years. Because if you got homegirl parading around and you talk about she your property and she out here wearing BDS&M stuff on Instagram with no problem, and you talking about cream of wheat with her little tiny baby cakes out, no, I'm gonna need the album to be fire. I'm gonna need a divorce album of anybody to be fire. Queens of the Stone Age last album was a divorce album and it was fire. Okay, and Josh Homme beat cancer on top of the divorce, and that album is fire. So not, it's a bit down considering my baby don't care for me no more. I get it. It's sad, but fire album. I'm anticipating a fire Kanye album. We need it.
Yeah, I ain't anticipating shit from him. I bet, like, yeah, bro, like, hey, hey, I'm, I ain't gonna get into it, but I'm stop with the antics, bro. Like, I like your music, so you don't even gotta do all this bullshit. Just drop the album, leave it be, and we'll go listen to the shit, and we'll come see you perform. We don't need all this. Stop it. I do. We just want the music. Some of these artists, I just be like, AG. Guess what? If you put it in your music, I'll listen to you. I don't give no fucks about anything else. Like, stop trying. I don't care about your life unless it's in the music. Tell me in the music. Make the mood. Use the instruments and the sample. Whatever your voice. y- y'all know each other. Go talk to somebody and create the music and then put it out and then shut the fuck up. I don't want to. I don't even want to hear your inspiration. I I'm tired. You know what? Social media has a lot, man, looking like one of the Riddler's homies. Swear to God. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The diddler.
Kelly as the diddler.
Mm, mm. This
Man,
Negro sitting up here looking like he just got a
see,
fresh from Lover's Lane bondage mask for that, looking like black ass Zorro. I don't know what the hell. He thought that shit was sexy. What? What thought that was sexy? What? Why? What black depiction of Zorro has ever been? This brother, the Pied Piper ass. Speaking of cognac and leather, R. Kelly makes them hits that made
and we
my
just talking
dad
about
want
all
to
Chicago
grab the
artists.
cognac and leather.
We just talking about all Chicago artists, huh? But yeah, I was just curious to know. I knew Ye was working on something. I didn't hear about the Nine Inch Nails thing. I did see Justin Timberlake is just released a single.
I have not heard this. I didn't want to hear Can't Fight the Feeling, Can't Stop the Feeling, whatever the hell, because one, Troll soundtrack. What? He need this that bad to be
Hey,
relevant? His
hey,
kids and
hey.
babies. Well,
Yes,
they babies.
apparently he the fuck does, G. I said, and here's the fucked up part. It's about to work. It's about to work. It's about to work. It's about to work. This mid ass song, and I know we supposed to be only big up in the stuff that we want, but fuck it.
It's Justin.
Rant. This is the rant section. I'm sorry. I got to. All right. I I will always give your song a listen. Like I will never ever judge something and not have listened to it. I'll make fun of a movie after a trailer, absolutely. But I'll listen for music. I'll give you the benefit and actually listen to your shit. This is the most this is the most mid song. It is like it is the most vanilla. This is adult contemporary to a T. It is so mid, like I mean mid. Like it is like I thought like I gave it more than one listen. And I don't even really fuck with him like that. But I was like, he really trying to make a like he really trying to make this comeback because I was like, he did the little song for the trolls thing with NSYNC. And I was like, why the fuck is he working with them? Like he don't even like them. And then and then I said this on the Happy Corner. I said, "Yo, them mugs gotta stop being thirsty, G." I like if he was like, "Hey, the trolls, they want to do an NSYNC trolls," I would have been like, "Kiss my ass, bro! Like, get the fuck out of here, that corniness." But yeah, he making a comeback. Um, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's Justin Timberlake. They gonna make sure it work. His fans is gonna make sure it work. Even if it's mid, they love his little two-step bop that he be doing.
Ain't a damn thing changed. He been doing that two-step box since
Not a
start.
damn thing. Not a damn thing has changed. But his hair. As soon as he lost the curls, he lost his voice. Swear to God. All his songs.
Ooh, right,
Conspiracy. Conspiracy.
right.
Going to sleep with a
Mm,
bonnet on and shit. For
yeah.
real, how he just we not gonna talk about how he perming his hair, like he relaxing his hair. All right.
You okay? You right? Because the ramen noodle curls. You was right. He was in fine voice back in the ramen noodle curl days.
Come
That
on,
damn
he
troll
got
song.
rid of
No.
the girls.
So you mean to tell me, okay, it's gonna be like that troll song? I've been trying to avoid it. I bless you for being fair and giving him the benefit of the doubt.
And
I'm going
then
to try to not hear this song, and it's going to creep up on
no, it's
me.
gonna creep
Either,
up.
it's
You
gonna
gonna
creep
be
up on me at the gym
yeah.
or in a grocery store,
Yep.
and I'm
I was
gonna
about
have
to
to
say
just
those two
sit there.
spots is where you gonna hear it for sure.
You
Cause
mean he
like
on his Richard Mark shit?
yeah, and I'll tell you this much. This is so the vibe is I got a gang of different settings. I tossed this one out because I just love it. The warmth of it made me feel something. Maybe because it's wintry. But the theme is cognac and leather. And so the vibe is cognac and leather. Now,
I like this. I like this theme. I have to say I like this theme a lot because as soon as you sent it, I started writing. And the first things that I put on my page were warm, spicy, sultry, cuddle buddy music. That's
Yeah.
what came to mind.
But my first one was this song called Guess What with Rick Ross and Russ. It's actually Russ's song. But the beat is so ill and the way that they played off of each other in the song. And I know people don't really be fucking with Russ like that. Sorry, I fuck with that little Italian man. I do, I do. He be. I don't know what it is, but that little Italian man with that bun, it just that little spicy Italian short man that will give the middle finger to everybody and keep it pushing. This little,
Mhm.
I love that little buddy. That song go hard, and he made that beat. That beat is fire, but it makes me just feels like it feels like cognac and leather, just simply because it's something that I would get out the shower, put on like a good fragrance,
Mhm.
robe, comfortable, and got my cognac, probably some Douce or something like that. I know, don't hate on like, and if you're a cognac drinker, don't be talking shit like that's not even a good shut the fuck up. It's within my. I be hating that shit like that's not even the good shit. I can afford it, bitch. Move
Facts.
around.
Facts. You can afford it. It's good.
$178 on a bottle of cognac. The fuck I look like. Anyways, so but yeah, like just chilling out and just vibing, maybe get the fire going. You know what I'm saying? Just the ultimate vibe to me is that song and that beat. Oh God, that beat is so fire. Like, and he made the beat. Like he made the beat. Like, and it just sounds like, and then like it just and the way that the opening riff and then the way that he drops the beat in and him and Ross are just talking like some real boss shit. And that's like, if you want luxury rap, nobody does it better than Rick Ross. Nobody. Nobody. Rick Ross has some of the best beats, some of the best, like, he's not lyrical miracle, but
Mm.
his lyrics work so good with the feel. He's good at giving you the feeling of a song.
Yeah.
And like in his beat selection, his ear is better than people give him credit for. I don't think he gets enough credit for having like actually good beats.
Hmm.
Like, and I'm not talking just like good producer beats. I mean, like he know, like his shit be mixed. Like I've heard Wayne albums where I'm like, did they mix
Sounds straight to tape.
this? Like Drake has that too, where I'm like, bro, did they mix this? Like, did you really put this out like this?
Did you
Whereas like
vocal in your phone, bro?
yeah, but with that song, it's just so and yeah, Rick Ross gives me the vibe of somebody that like is like, nah, I gotta, it's Ross, it's boss. He feel like he looked like the type that's like, I gotta play this in my car before I let like that's
Yeah.
what his music gives me. So like
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a fan of Rick Ross. I love his luxury rap. If I want to feel like a bad bitch, if I want to feel clean, if I want to feel a boss bitch, if I'm in that mood and I don't want to, when I'm in that mood, Ross is either yeah, Ross. If I'm in a hustling mood, like I gotta do a lot of shit, gotta rip and run, cheesy. But if I feel it, but if I feel it like I gotta do like if it's like some slick, cool luxury shit where I'm dressed up, I'm feeling good, you know, it's gonna be some wrong. So that song with Russ, I fucks with it a lot.
I am going to choose a song that I've heard on Solection. I am a huge Solection fan. I enjoy sometimes a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday morning of just getting my day started, popping that on and letting Joe K or whoever is hosting take me away for 2 hours to a foreign
So
place. I go around the world and back sonically for 2 hours with Solection. And case of this, one time in the mix, he played this gorgeous song. The song is called Swits The band is called Ras. I don't know a lot about them. If you go on YouTube, the video has about 564 views. I am probably 600 of them. Yes, I
Really?
know I didn't do the math right. This song is 8 minutes of sweetness. You are not going to realize the time has passed because it puts you in such a soft, sumptuous mood. It's the kind of song that makes you think sexy is universal.
Mm.
I believe it is in Arabic. It sounds like Arabic because it's some dudes crooning in the back. Or something. I don't know. There's a dude that just randomly starts singing and he sounds like Arabic Aaron Hall. Sweets. And I'm like, yes, he's saying my name. I don't know what else he's saying, but he said my name and I love it. And I feel romantic now. Sexy is universal, and I can't understand what they're saying. I just know they calling me. And Switz by Haas is a very sexy song. If you know anything about the band, the song, whatever, uh, tap in with us. Let me know. I
Yeah.
want it personally because they don't, and they deserve more than 500 views.
I be hating that, G. That's how I feel about me. I'm like, I'm so raw. No, I'm just playing.
It's
But for real though,
surprising. It's surprising.
yeah. No, my next song is not. It's a deep cut. Man, I've been playing this and Renaissance. Honestly, are two albums that I've played all year since they dropped. Those between those two albums, anytime that I was like, nope, that ain't hitting. Let me just go back to this. And so Janelle Monáe's last album, the Age of Pleasure. Um, and there's a song on there called A Dry Red. It's the last song on the album, and it is, man, it is short, sweet, sexy, simple acoustic guitar. I'm a sucker for acoustic guitar. Like, and my fiance plays guitar like amazingly, which is like, I'm like, all right, well, now my coochie's wet.
Y'all gonna have a
um,
duet? All right.
but a dry red is an acoustic song. It's like just sexy, simple. It's like once again, I'm thinking of like just an evening of chilling out. It's cool and relaxing, and you know, she says some cute little shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like, we gonna smoke some tree, we gonna smoke some more, we gonna light this tree. You've been on my like. It's just the way that she sings it. It's simple. It's just quick. It's about just. It's honestly about I met you. Sex was amazing. When are we gonna do it again? But it's in a very sexy, sensual, sweet way. It's not like that raunchy. It's not raunchy like that. It's sensual. But yeah, that's my other. And if you haven't seen Janelle Monáe live, oh my god, oh my
Mhm. Okay.
god,
Sounds like a must.
it's a must. And honestly, after this last tour, she probably won't. She'll probably be doing bigger venues because the line was so long. The line was long, and people. This one girl was like, "She ain't Beyonce." I'm like, "Bitch, you're in line, and it's around the block, so it
Okay.
don't matter what you think tier she's on. Like, she's demanding, and commanding. Look how many people are fucking here, and look how diverse it is. So like, it was fire. If you that is she puts on a good fucking show.
Mm.
She puts on a good fucking show. Like live band, she'll pick up a guitar, choreography, outfit change, crowd interaction, fun, loving, positive. Like it is my fiance put it like it's almost like a black fish concert, like a diverse fish concert. Cause she was like, because the way that people were like dressed up and like the way that people were interacting, it was just very this openness and funness about it.
So then my other one is you said you're a sucker for acoustic guitars, which I
Hmm.
love. I'm also a sucker for live performances. Not
Hmm.
just because of how overproduced and overblown things get in the studio these days and how much auto-tune
Hmm.
heavy songs can be. Uh, I'm going to forever have a soft spot in my heart for jazz. And
Mhm.
so my next pick is Robert Glasper featuring Sir and Alex Isley, Back to Love, live on Fallon. Cognac and Leather, y'all. First of all, when you
Bitch,
start, girl, hey, this,
bitch, Robert Glasper. Oh my God. Go ahead. I'm
okay,
sorry. I
okay,
go ahead.
you know this man is the truth, and you know, and he'll go on anybody and tell you, and we know this to be true. Record companies and shit, they don't put money behind jazz. And you wouldn't have a lot of this cool stuff on these songs if you didn't have jazz, if you didn't have people working on these songs to have jazz training or that are classically trained in it. I just watched a clip of Robert Glasper telling the truth about the instrumentalist on Lauryn Hill's uh,
Mhm.
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And now I have an even deeper appreciation for Robert Glasper. But let's go ahead on this track. Y'all, you have to watch this live performance on YouTube because
Mhm.
they start off playing the instrumental where they play backwards.
Mhm.
Robin, the whole band, he's playing his parts on piano backwards for the first 15 seconds plus.
Yeah.
And then they start this beautiful glissando into the song, Back to Love. The song plays out the title. The lyrics are gorgeous. It's about a couple coming back to themselves.
Mhm.
Stuff's gotten in the way. The world's going crazy. They've lost their way. They're trying to get back to each other. The instrumentation behind it is gorgeous. The arrangement is gorgeous. Sir is one of my unsung young heroes of R&B, and so is
Sure.
Alex Isley.
Alex Isley is dope. Yes.
Where do I start? I got to start with Sir because I fell in love with him off of like Devils or Devils, however you want to call it,
Mhm.
and John Redcorn. And I
John
was
Ray.
like, this
Yeah.
brother is snapping. Between him and Lucky Day, I have a lot of hope for these
Oh,
young R&B
I love
studs.
Lucky Day. Hey, Lucky Day. I know you watching. Chief, don't have Bruno Mars write any more of your songs. I'll do my last one. This is, and we should also do a future segment on shit our parents used to listen to. This is something that I'm an old head. I'm gonna call myself an old head for putting this on there, but these motherfuckers are so fucking wrong. They got some of, if to me, they are like the ultimate players of this shit, of some cognac and leather or something wild like that. For the love in you, the Isley brothers, part one and two. Isley Brothers is to me, first off, my parents, that was their shit. They went to the concert and everything. They, you know what I'm saying? Like the Isley Brothers was them dudes for them. I mean, Ernie Isley, first off, is like an amazing guitarist. You know, like when you got Jimi Hendrix as your teacher, you know what I'm saying? Like you can only imagine his licks, his chord progressions, his the way that he like his structures of songs and just his solos just fitting in, and like the guitar work on so much of it is the way that he would weave his solos in and out of and intersperse it throughout, and it was never on some like let me be just purely flashy. Like he could have done that, but his playing is so musical. When soul artists had a little bit flashier guitarists during the time that when the Isley Brothers really were getting more and more popular. You know what I'm saying? But that song is sexy as fuck. For the love in you is just, and the opening, and what I love about that, the lyrics, bro, like the lyrics on that song, Isley Brothers is so fire. I don't know if your parents like Footsteps in the Dark.
Heck yeah.
Hey, put both of them into. I'm adding that one to the cognac and leather too. That's a smooth ass song, G. Like
We could have a whole back-to-back double album compilation of Leather and Cognac. This all Isley Brothers.
that's all Isley Brothers. That's all
Okay.
Isley Brothers, G. Like
Voyage to Atlantis. Since we own a kind of maritime mood, since we own the sea, that song goes and it's gorgeous. And if you don't fall in love by the end of that song, something's wrong.
something that you're dead inside. You are. There is no heart, G. Like there is no way that you don't like. And I love like Ronald Isley. His voice is just so good. But all right, I gotta pull up, and I know it too. I don't know why. Drifting on.
Drifting on
I know, like I know it, but I don't want to sing because I sound horrible
ain't
singing.
no place I'd rather be than with you. Yeah. Loving you. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
like,
baby. There it
yeah,
is.
like but like the lyrics are so good though. Like drifting on a memory, ain't no place I'd rather be than with you, loving you. Day will make a way for night, and all we'll need is candlelight and a song, soft and long. Glad to be here alone with you, with a lover unlike no other. Sad to see a new horizon slowly coming into view. Like, come on, like, come on, G, like, come on, like, the lyrics on this is so player and so fire. The sentiment of it is so sexy and but sweet. It's not um it, it's this would be me smoking a joint with my fiance, dancing around in the living room, feeling good, and like just sharing like quick kisses and moments together. It's such a like when songs are like let's fuck, and there are songs that's like, man, I want to be in your presence, like, and that is what it gives a feeling of like, yeah, we gonna smash, but you know, like this, I want this moment, this night to just stay. Like that's kind of what the song is like. Damn it, like the sunlight is coming up too soon. Like what? And that opening line, drifting on a memory, no place I'd rather. Like, come on, man. No place I'd rather be than with you. Like, come on, man. That is the most player group ever. And I had to put the Isley Brothers on Tuscan and Leather because like you said, they are the quintessential leather and cognac. Like they are. That's what it made me like. It's just one of those. They're just one of those, man. Their longevity and their ability to continue to you know do the things that they've been able to do and sustain. Because who would have
Exactly.
known that Ron Isley's voice would have held up this entire time?
Immaculate
Yeah.
and looking like a zaddy and
Oh,
81 years old out here doing
I
it.
would say this: Ron Isley now looks finer than when he was going through that Mr. Biggs era.
Facts.
Like he was a little too greasy for me for the Mr. Biggs era.
Facts.
What the hell is going on?
This one, I said I was gonna mention Ray again. We saw Ray briefly on the Coachella lineup. Ray is almost indistinguishable in this song because of her beautiful pitch down vocal, which creates an androgynous sounding voice, which is even sexier. This song is timeless. It's about 7 years old. It's spacious. It was recorded on a rainy day in London, and it even has the rainy sounds in the background to add to the sensuality. It pulses, it throbs, it breathes. This song loves you, and it's S.G. Lewis, yours. It spawned thousands and thousands of kids on TikTok and YouTube and other platforms doing dance routines to it, popping, hoo hoo hoo, hoo hoo hoo, it's yours. Like, everybody and their mama was doing it. I loved
Yeah,
it. But like that song to me, timeless.
yeah,
Like it's going to always feel like a warm hug from that person you haven't seen in a couple of weeks. And you've been waiting on that date night. And that
yeah,
20-pound note that's really $20 rolled up in your pocket, you ready to use on some DoorDash and have a good night. That
yeah.
song to me is so romantic.
Hmm.
The song loves you, and I love it.
You picked a lot of good stuff that like I don't listen to. So like, well, except for Robert Glasper. Robert Glasper, that was a really good pick. But this one is interesting because I haven't heard it. Is where is Ray from?
UK.
UK. That's what.
London. She's a R&B singer from London.
REYE.
Headphones or good bassy speakers serve that song well because it's breathy and airy and spacious like that. I love songs that have a little bit of silence or air space in there because that tension that it builds. And then when you release it in a song like this, it's so sexy and it feels warm. It feels like that snifter of cognac in front of you and taking a sip and it warming you down.
Yeah.
That's what the song sounds like to me.
It's kind of like my Smithsonian. Like, what should you own is essentially what it is. What's an album? Leave people with an album. Like, go stream it and then go buy it. Like, buy the physical version of it.
Should pick up. Everybody in America should pick up Jeff Buckley's Grace.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
And it's not just because everybody and their mama fell in love with his version of Hallelujah after he passed. It's the fact that when you go back and you listen to this album, he covers so much in rock. He
Yeah.
covers so many different moods and textures. And we
Yeah.
get to see what could have been. Oh my gosh. Like the fact that Hallelujah is like kind of enshrined and is now like in our national treasury type stuff. The
Yeah.
whole album should be there
Yeah.
because this is post grunge. Grunge now is talked about in past tense because we don't have most of those grunge bands and grunge artists anymore. The bands that are still in existence might have new frontmen, like we were talking about Sublime earlier. Alice in Chains is still rocking, still making incredible music, even though Lane Staley's long gone. Jeff Buckley coming out of the rubble of grunge and the glimpse of what could have been just a freaking rock god.
Yeah.
You deserve a listen. Everything from his beautiful cover of Nina Simone's Lilac Wine
That
to
is my favorite. Oh my God, his voice is like just to like you said for him to come out of that grunge era where everybody, like you said, they grit in their voice that, and he is singing like with perfect pitch.
and
Like,
don't get me wrong, he could grit with the best of them if you
yeah,
asked him to.
yeah, but he he he's also like vocally he one of them. Like it ain't it wasn't a farce. Like that boy was the real deal. Like nah. Jeff Buckley Grace is probably like he was the singer songwriter dude that I feel like people later in like the 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s when that came back up, like when the John Mayers and stuff like that started coming up, that like sound. I think like a lot of the record companies or whatever, I feel like we're like we need something like that again. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like it the way that they position a lot of them dudes, their looks, their swagger, their like a lot of it is like very Jeff Buckley in a sense. They didn't have his voice. They didn't have his voice, but it's very much in that same vein.
Absolutely.
Stylistic, not music stylistically, but the aura and the look that they try to give a lot of them initially. I felt like it was yeah, like
Yeah.
you guys remember
Because
like
because it was interesting in 95, 96. You
mhm.
had him and Jacob Dylan.
Yeah.
We had sons of old school goats. And Tim
Mhm.
Buckley, if you don't know Tim Buckley, you need to know Tim Buckley, was also an old school G. He was on the Monkees, but he also had real thing. And also, even though this isn't on Grace, if anybody doesn't know and wants a testimony to what we're talking about and how big he could have been, go on YouTube, look up What Will You Say live at Glastonbury 1994. What Will You Say has not ever been on like a studio album of his. He only had the one studio album anyway. What Will You Say is a powerful track about his father and that longing for his connection with his dad. Jeff is on that stage owning it every minute of this 7.5 minute track. And the Glastonbury crowd is, you've got folks that are doing the wave.
Yeah.
You've got folks that are like, oh, you got folks that are just sitting there in awe. By the time the whole thing is over, the roar of applause is
Yeah.
magnificent.
Yeah.
Okay?
It was. Yeah. It. That is one of the dopest. When I first got into Jeff Buckley, I saw that clip, and if you look at the audience, like you said, when he first starts to where it ends, because at first you're like, ooh, I don't I don't know if this gonna turn out right. Like I don't know. Like it's not because of him, but because of their expectations. You know what I'm saying? But then, like you said, he like gradually you could just see the crowd. You could see it in the crowd where it's just like he wins them over, and it's just a rush over that entire crowd, and they give it up for him, which is dope. Yeah.
So just like we started with getting on stage and having that rush of 30,000 people singing your songs
Yeah.
back at you and how you feel, that was that moment, one of those moments for him.
Yeah, yeah. My piece of music that I think people should actually go listen to and then actually own is Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Just because I was not a Stevie Wonder fan like that. And then my fiance was like, that is my favorite artist of all time. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll check out more Stevie Wonder or whatever. And honestly, all of his stuff up until like the 80s, like even his like not the best albums, they're really good. they were
Absolutely. Absolutely.
really good albums. Like everybody talks about like he's a genius, and I think they talk about it because he's blind. But like no, to me it's more so it's not just that he's blind, but like he proficiently plays every instrument. And then like sonically he did stuff and was working with synths and doing all different types of stuff prior to it becoming so prominent, especially like late 70s into like the early 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like he was really ahead of the curve, especially with like keys and synths and like song structure with those type of instruments and like really figuring out how to utilize those. So like that is every honestly, Stevie Wonder is probably the foundation of a lot of pop music. And to me, I think that like if you are a musician and you don't have that in you, like I don't care what type of musician you are. It could be electronic, it could be rock, jazz, whatever. That's an album that should be in your collection. It should be, regardless of genre. From top to bottom, one of the greatest albums of all time. And I'm saying that as a person who was not a fan and recently has been like, oh my God, this is so good. Like I was never a Stevie. And you know what it is? It's probably because, like we 80s kids, like we was born and I hate to say it, but we grew up with corny Stevie. We didn't get cool Stevie. We got like
Part-time lover Stevie.
part-time love. We got that Stevie. Like we didn't get as Stevie. we didn't get
We didn't get it as Stevie. We got Jungle Fever Stevie.
we didn't get cool Stevie. So like that might have had something to do with it. But yeah,
I wanted Rocket Love Stevie. Ooh, that
that's
song.
a fire song. Golden Lady is my song. Dude. Like Golden Lady, Golden Lady. That's my song, man. But yeah, yes, that would be the piece that I would tell people they should probably own. You should probably own songs.
Not a skippable track. Not a skippable track.
Nope, one of the best albums of all time.
Starting off with Love's in Need of Love Today. You know the rest of it is Sir Duke. I wish. That's my
Sir
favorite.
Duke is
Pastime
so
Paradise. Isn't she lovely? It's like you said, ass.
He
Come
had
on.
no misses on that album. That might be one of the most perfect albums in music history. And I'm not saying that as hyperbole. It's not hyperbolic at all. Exaggeration. I've listened to a lot of music. It is very hard to have a piece of work that is good from the very time that you begin it and then all like it's not just a song here, a song there. It's not like, oh well the first half was good, but the second half it wasn't like every other song is this. It wasn't like, oh, we got skits and we got this and that. It's like it was like straight up, I'm about to create the dopest album top to bottom. And it's like it's my dark twisted fantasy. That would be my that like people you need to own that album.